Mhm. Okay. So, hey there, everyone. I hope you guys can hear me. So, welcome to our session. Welcome to our free IELTS strategic session. My name is Nash Akthar. I'm a certified IELTS trainer. So, guys, before we start, I would like to know if you can hear me. So, if you can, please type yes. I would really appreciate that. And then we can slowly start our session. So just type yes or just type yes, we can hear you, and then we can start our session. So would really appreciate. So I see that slowly people are joining. That's really great. So make sure that everything is fine from your end as well, that you guys can see me, you guys can hear me, you can see the chat box. That will also be very useful. Okay, so that's great. So I think we can slowly start. Thank you for the thumbs up. Great, guys. Great. Okay, wonderful. So, for those who are here for the first time, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Nash Akthar. I'm a certified IELTS trainer. I have been involved in IELTS for more than 10 years now. So, I started my career as an IELTS trainer, and then I became an official IELTS administrator in Eastern Europe. And then I also became a director of an official IELTS testing center. So I was involved in opening exam centers, mainly in Russia, like in Moscow, St. Petersburg, Vladivostok, Yekaterinburg, and also in Tashkent, Uzbekistan. Now, since 2023, we have been actively involved in preparing students for IELTS in Sri Lanka. So until now, it has been a phenomenal journey. Quite often, our students, they achieve very high scores on their first attempt. So we are looking at not 6.5, not band 6, but we are looking at band 7, 7.5, and higher. So I have also conducted a few workshops in Sri Lanka, and these are the pictures that you can see. And we have this tradition of gifting a mug when our students achieve band 7 and higher. So we really celebrate that because we always believe that achieving a band 7 or higher is a phenomenal journey. Guys, do you know that each month 1,200 students, they prepare for this exam in Sri Lanka? 1,000. How many? 1,200 students sit for IELTS every month. Do you know that's a huge number compared to many countries? And do you know that only 40% they achieve their required score on their first attempt? So we are officially working with IDP IELTS now. So with my experience, because even now I work with IDP IELTS in Eastern Europe, and also we have partnered with IDP IELTS Sri Lanka. So that's why I'll be sharing useful links with you all after our session. And I'm pretty sure you will find it useful, guys. So after our session, I'll be sharing a link where you will have access to all the practice materials from IDP IELTS as well. So, guys, our students, they have achieved very high scores on their first attempt. And as you can see, we have 8.5, we have 7.5. This is actually, I think it was Tadara. Then, for example, Sharvanta, who achieved 7.5 on his first attempt. So we have prepared over 1,000 students. We have so many results. Every week, students achieve very high scores on their first attempt. So that's why we thought to conduct this session for free and help everyone to understand what exactly they should do. So guys, remember, I'm going to conduct the session in English. If you're preparing for IELTS, you should be able to understand me. I'm fluent both in Sinhala and Tamil, but I think it's important to learn all the essential skills in English. Mara Sinhala kata karana baruwama nemei, Tamilum peselum, but what is very important is that, it's important to understand things in English. Only in Sri Lanka, guys, only in Sri Lanka. I'm very surprised when I was in Sri Lanka. only in Sri Lanka, they prepare students for this exam in Sinhala and Tamil. Even for PTE, they say like, template එක වැඩලමයි template එක පොඩ බලාගන්න. It's all not true, guys. Or they say like ඔබ exam එක September ගන්නවා නම් මෙන්න මේ වගේ ප්‍රශ්න වලට ලෑස්ති වෙලා යන්න. What is that, guys? Nowhere in Europe or in the Western world you get to see such jokes. So it's important for y'all, if you want to achieve a very high score, to understand the essential skills. It's not a difficult exam because I'm sure we have doctors here, nurses, engineers, IT specialists, like programmers, web designers, marketeers, accountants, right? So you guys are professionals, even if you're a student. You maybe have your bachelor's degree, your master's degree. So you should not fall for things which are not true because you're way ahead. So if you're looking for this, if you're planning to prepare for this exam, all what you need to understand is the essential skills and how you should take things forward. So guys, I'm going to show you what is IELTS. It's not that I'm going to speak about the structure, but what you should really know, misconceptions that you should not fall for, then important skills. And the skill I'm going to teach you now will help you to understand how to cope with listening, reading, and also like how you should develop your answers for speaking and writing. It's going to be a game changer. So today, you're going to set your foundation towards achieving a high score in IELTS. So that's the main aim, guys. And then, guys, after the session, tomorrow, our managers will be sharing this PDF. So it's written by me. So it's about useful words and phrases for essay writing. Students love it. So I'll show you how you should sign up for it, like, how you can get it. I'll explain that at the end of this session. It's a phenomenal PDF because I've seen students thanking me consistently because, they use those phrases when they write essays. So I'll be sharing it at the end of our session, guys. So stay tuned. I'm pretty sure the next 90 minutes or so would be really useful. So guys, I think I've given an introduction. So I would really appreciate quickly if you could introduce yourselves, okay? So I want to know your name, why you need IELTS or IELTS, your required band score, when you plan to take the exam, and whether this is your first attempt, okay? So I have even created a template to make things easier for y'all. Like, hi, my name is David from Colombo. I need IELTS to enter a university in the UK. I need a band 7 and plan to take the exam in 3 months. This will be my first attempt. So guys, would really appreciate if you could quickly type and introduce yourselves. Like, I really want to know our audience, participants, what kind of challenges do you face with IELTS, right? And also, who thinks that IELTS is easier than PTE? Or maybe you think that PTE is easier than IELTS or IELTS, and I'll explain that a bit later. Okay, so I see that people are typing. That's great. So we just want to know, right? Your name, where you're from. Maybe you're from Kandy. Maybe you're from Colombo. Maybe you're from Jaffna. Maybe you're from the beautiful city Nurelia. Maybe from Gaul, Mathura, Hambantota, right? Ratnapura. Or from Vaunia, from the eastern part. Doesn't matter. And what is the required score, right? The score that you really need. And is this your first attempt? Maybe you have taken the exam already. Maybe you have taken it multiple times. Let's hope it's not. So that would be really useful, guys. Because I always say that the exam is not difficult, but right from the beginning, we need to understand what exactly we should do, right? In order to achieve a very high score. So that's the most important thing. Okay, so I see here. Hi, I'm from Colombo. I need IELTS to enter a university in Europe. The required score is a band 7. Understood? Okay, that's great. Lovely, lovely. And someone has just typed 7.2. Okay. That's great. Lovely. So I see that some people need 6.5. which is also quite gettable. And actually, guys, 6.5 is not a very high requirement because usually it's B2. 7 is a C1, right? So great. If you need 7, that's a C1. 7.5, 8, that's going to be C2. Okay, so 7 and okay, so we have a person here who is planning to apply for PhD scholarships. That's great. Definitely it will be your last attempt as well. Let's hope. Let's stay positive. That's great. That's great. Wonderful. And also, I would like to know whether you guys have specific requirements, like, maybe you need 7 for every section. So do we have students where they need specific requirements? And while you guys are typing, remember, guys, I have an assistant today. So I would like to introduce Yana. So in case I don't answer your questions, because, while I'm teaching, I might miss a few questions. So if that's the case, Yana will be more than happy to assist you all. She'll be answering your questions, and also she'll be getting in touch with you all if you have specific needs. Okay, so that's an important thing. Okay, we have a person from Candy, IT student. Okay, so okay, great. Fine. So guys, people are typing. I'll go through as well. So first of all, thanks for sharing. And Yana will also be reading your introductions, and she'll be also going through it. So thanks for sharing. So guys, what do we need to understand here? When you prepare for this exam, right? Usually the required score, if you're planning to take this exam for a purpose, it could be for university admission, it could be for migration, and quite often the required score ranges between 6.5 and 7.5. Sometimes if you're applying for a job, sometimes the required score could be 5.5, right? And it could be more as well. So usually it starts from 6.5 and higher. So that's why our students, they achieve the required score all the time on their first attempt. We are the only preparation center, guys. We are very proud to say that in Sri Lanka, where we constantly show results and we show very high scores. That's why IDP is very keen. And also they work with us because they know that we provide quality service, and the students are really satisfied. And if you want to double check, you can speak to our manager and they'll show you the results our students achieve all the time. Great. So we have from Gaul, requirement 7.5. Lovely. Okay. And then we have Sandhini from Kalania, also 7.5. Great. Great. Lovely, guys. Lovely. From Batikolo as well. Hi to Batikolo, like Sanjay. Great. So guys, if I miss someone, please don't take it personal. Okay. Rasali, great. Okay, so you have a specific requirement, Rasali. I see you have a specific requirement. Great, great. So guys, thank you very much. So let's start now, okay? So we will read through, and if I have missed your introduction, please don't think I'm ignoring. Yana will also pay attention to that. Yana, please take over. So guys, let's start. First, let's start with what is IELTS or IELTS. Remember, it stands for International English Language Testing System. Although there are other language tests like PTE, TOEFL, Duolingo English test, IELTS or IELTS is the most popular language test out there. Over 3.5 million candidates, they sit for this exam every year. 3.5 million. So it's a huge number, right? And also remember, guys, that you take this exam to prove, to certify that you can use English fluently in a native, professional English-speaking environment. Keep that in mind. You prove that you can use English fluently in a native, professional English-speaking environment. That's why if you want to enter university, they ask you to sit for this exam. If you want to migrate, they ask you to sit for this exam. So don't look at it like, oh God, I need to pass IELTS. Or like we say in Sinhala, kohoma hari goda daganna ඕනේ. Kohomada IELTS pass වෙන්නේ? Only in Sri Lanka we see that joke. ලක්ෂ 4ක් ගෙවුවම certificate එක හම්බ වෙනවා. You can't fall for that, guys. Understand the true purpose. ලක්ෂ 4ක් ගෙවලා එහෙ ගිහලා charter කරනවද? නැත්තම් හරියට ඉගෙනගෙන ගොඩදාගෙන shape එක යනවද? Guys, do you know that there are people, they even after 2 years, when they do things which are not correct, they struggle and suffocate. So that's not the right way. The right way is to understand the purpose. So let's start with that. So guys, remember, to achieve a 7, or if you achieve a 7 and higher, you prove that you can negotiate in English. And I'm going to teach you all today. That's why we need to be coherent. We need to be logical. Then whether we are able to connect your ideas, that's cohesion. I'm going to focus on that today. Then, whether you have the ability to write formal sentences. That's why it's very important to know how to describe graphs, bar charts, and pie charts, because maybe when you enter a university, you might have to do projects and make reports and analyze data. So that requires that particular skill. Then whether you're able to think in English, that's a very important skill. That's why they have such questions in IELTS speaking, and it's very easy. Then, guys, for listening and reading, remember, for reading, we never read the whole text word by word. We need to apply certain skills, which we are going to learn today. There are 5 skills we need to know for reading, because we are not supposed to read the whole text. We need to read and understand the general idea, or we need to find specific information. So I'm going to teach you all the essential skills. Listening, the same. We are not supposed to understand each and every word when we are listening, but we need to apply certain skills. And believe me, they are really easy. And the next point, guys, for speaking and writing, we need to understand what exactly the examiner would look for. So everything that we learn would be useful for our professional life. So if we can't achieve a 6.5 or a band 7, then it's very unlikely that we can succeed in our career in a professional environment. Let's be honest. So never look at it like, කොහොමද IELTS ගොඩදාගන්නේ? එපරිද IELTS pass பண்ணு? எப்படி சரி? Don't have that thought, because that is not going to take you anywhere. But understand right from the beginning what exactly you should do. And I repeat, it's not that difficult. Okay, so guys, if you look at the structure, right, quickly, I'm not going to speak about everything in detail, because you can Google it, you can watch YouTube videos. So I'm sure you're not here for that. So I'm going to teach you all very important skills. But just to understand the overall structure, we know when it comes to IELTS, there are 4 sections. We have listening, reading, writing, and speaking. Listening is the first section. It's going to be for half an hour. By the way, now in Sri Lanka, we only have the computer-based test. It's extremely comfortable and convenient. Don't get discouraged by that. PTE is more challenging, guys. So if somebody's saying PTE is easier, it's not true. IELTS is more convenient. I have already shared a video on our WhatsApp group. So if you haven't watched it, please watch it, because with IDP, with their support, I have created a video showing the platform, how it would be at the exam. If you still haven't watched, discuss with the manager. We will share the link again. And I'll also drop you guys a reminder. And watch it, please. And anyway, after our session, we are going to share the link from IDP IELTS, and you will understand that, it's very convenient. Anyway, listening is going to be for half an hour. Reading is going to be for 1 hour, even if you take academic IELTS or general IELTS. Writing is going to be for 1 hour. Speaking, since we have the computer-based test, we can have the speaking part before listening, reading, and writing. Now, let's say, for example, your listening and reading and writing part would be at 1:20, 1:30 p.m. Then the speaking part can be before that. If you sit for the exam in the morning, 9 a.m., for example, your speaking will be soon after listening, reading, and writing. So when you register, you get to choose it. Actually, our students ask us to register them, and we'll be more than happy to register you guys as well, or we can guide you with the registration process. Okay, so guys, listening half an hour, reading 1 hour, writing 1 hour, speaking is going to be between 15 and 20 minutes maximum. So usually it's between 10 and 15 minutes. That's all. So guys, what do you think? Can you guys quickly type, which is the easiest section and which is the most challenging? What do you think, guys? Which is the easiest and which is the most challenging? Which is the easiest section and which is the most challenging? And I want everyone to type quickly. Do you think reading is the easiest? Or maybe you think listening is the easiest? Maybe you think speaking is the easiest? Maybe you think writing is the easiest. What is your opinion? Okay. So keep typing, guys. I'll be more than happy to see what you have to say. Okay. So, okay. So I see different answers coming. Great. Great. So some say it's listening. Okay. Some say it's listening. Because, it really depends, and I'll tell you why, but let me see what you guys have to say. That would be really interesting. Okay, so I see some say it's listening. Listening is the easiest, writing is the hardest. And actually, well done. And some people say listening is the challenging part, speaking is easy. Some say reading is easy and writing is challenging. Fine. Fine. So I'm getting different answers, but let me be very honest with you. According to statistics, and I handled 4 exam centers in Russia. It was a great experience, and I'm very proud of that, because as a Sri Lankan, to start from nowhere and to become a director of an official testing center in Eastern Europe is actually is like a dream come true for me. To sign the IELTS certificate, that was like, I never imagined that to happen, especially in Eastern Europe. And even now, I get involved in different projects in Estonia, in different parts of Eastern European countries. So the point is, I know, according to statistics, quite often students achieve a very high score in IELTS listening. Now, even our Sri Lankan students who prepare with us, they achieve 9 for listening on their first attempt, 9 for reading, 7.58 even for speaking, but quite often writing, students achieve on average around the world 7 or 7.5, the highest. And do you know the average global score for writing is a 5.5? The global score, the global average score. You see, it's a 5.5. So if you achieve a 6 or 6.5 or even a 7, you're above the global average. Now, this does not mean that writing is difficult. Writing is a skill that we don't use very often. Guys, now what do? We use ChatGPT. We use AI, don't we? So times have changed. We believe that skill is not that important. And maybe in a way it's true. But when you prepare for exams, any exam, you need to focus more on writing, because the style of writing is different. The words you use, they are different. Then the way you structure a paragraph, you need to know how to do it logically and skillfully. So that's why it requires more attention. So once again, it's not difficult, but you need to know how to develop and how to write and how to make a writing style more academic, guys. So once again, listening, if you prepare well, it will be the easiest. Now, if you find IELTS listening challenging, my first advice would be expose yourself. You need to listen to audiobooks. You need to listen to audiobooks. You need to listen to podcasts. You need to watch documentaries. Now, maybe at first it might be a bit boring, maybe a bit challenging, but the more you expose yourself, the easier it gets. So I'll speak about it, guys. So that's important. But now listen to me very carefully. We're going to focus on a very important part, paraphrasing. If you look at IELTS and if you compare it with PTE, TOEFL, Duolingo English test, IELTS or IELTS is the only exam that is mainly focused on paraphrasing. So we call IELTS as a paraphrasing exam. So what is paraphrasing? Because it's so important, and you'll understand the point. Paraphrasing means expressing the same meaning in a different way. This is done by replacing certain words with synonyms or by changing the word form and changing the structure of a sentence. Paraphrasing means to say the same thing, but to say it in a different way. The meaning is the same, but presented differently. So this can be done by changing the word form, replacing the word with synonyms, or changing the word order. Now, that's where we're going to focus, guys. So the next 5 minutes, okay, next 5 minutes, don't do anything, focus on this, and let's do a few tasks to understand it, okay? Now, look at this example. It says, the new iPhone 18 will be released in September, or we can say, the launch of the new iPhone 18 will be in September. You see, the new iPhone 18 will be released in September, but the paraphrase sentence says, the launch of the new iPhone 18 will be in September. So what have we done here? We have replaced release with the word launch, and we have used the noun form, the launch. Now, this is important in reading. This is important for listening. This is very important when you write an introduction for an essay. And in IELTS speaking, if the examiner asks, is it important to learn a foreign language? You can't say, yes, it's important. You have to say, yes, it's crucial. Yes, it's essential. And that's how, guys, the examiner is going to focus more. So please pay attention to that. I need to kind of charge. 1 second. Yeah. So that's why, guys, it's a very important skill that you need to master. Yes. Okay, so guys, just give me a second. Then expect this. Yeah, so the charge, okay, sometimes happen. So remember, paraphrasing is a very important skill, and it's a skill that you need to master. Otherwise, it's going to be difficult. Okay, so now, guys, let's try to understand the 3 ways of paraphrasing. Okay, so stay focused. Okay, I'm back. So, guys, look, the first way is to change the word form. First way is to change the word form. Look at the first sentence. Yanni was the composer of Winds of Orchids. Yanni was the composer of Winds of Orchids. Now, as you can see, composer is a noun. Look at the second sentence. Yanni, Winds of Orchids. Yanni, Winds of Orchids. So the missing word is a verb. So let's use the verb form of composer. What should be the answer here, guys? Yanni was the composer of Winds of Orchids. Yanni, Winds of Orchids. What should be the answer here? You see, Yanni did something. So Yanni, what is the verb form of composer? And what should be the answer? Well done. Very good. Composed, right? Because the missing word is a verb. Now remember, guys, in English, there are 4 word forms. Nouns, like boy is a noun. Table is a noun. Verbs, like run, jump, it's a verb, action. And then nouns are described by adjectives, like boy. Big is an adjective. And then verbs are described by adverbs. Now, for example, he ran quickly. Quickly is an adverb. So remember the word forms. If you're preparing for IELTS, you need to know the word forms. That's very important. So, guys, very good. Yanni composed Winds of Orchids. Very good. Very good. Look at the second sentence. It says, she performed really well at the concert. Look at the second sentence. It says, she gave an excellent at the concert. At the concert, right? So she gave an excellent. So you see the missing word is what, guys? Can everyone type? What is the missing word? Is it a noun or a verb? First type me that. Is it a noun or she gave an excellent at the concert? This is very important for listening and reading. What we are doing now is very important for listening and reading. So guys, if you say it's performance, do you see the missing word is a noun? And very good. The answer is performance. Well done. Very good. She gave an excellent performance at the concert. Well done. It's a noun. Very good. Very good. So I see that partly Ekanayaka, but he's not partly the politician here. He's a different partly, and he's typing it's a noun. He's the first to type here. Maybe someone else typed too, but it doesn't matter. I just saw the name partly, and that kind of drew my attention, and I even lost focus. I'm joking. Okay, guys, well done. So very good. So she gave an excellent performance. She gave an excellent performance at the concert. Well done. Very good. Very good. Now, do you see excellent is an adjective? Excellent is an adjective, right? Excellent performance. Like I said, boy, big boy. Excellent is an adjective. Can you give me a synonym for excellent, guys? Before we move on to, can you give me a synonym for excellent? So she gave an excellent performance at the concert. How to say it? She gave an excellent. What other words can we use? So she gave an excellent performance at the concert. Excellent. What synonyms do you know, guys? Excellent. Well done. Very good. I see the word brilliant. I see the word brilliant. Impressive. Well done. Well done. Amazing. Phenomenal performance. Fantastic performance. Do you see that we came up with more than one option? That's what I want to show you all. Adjectives and adverbs, you can always come up with synonyms. Now, big boy, we can say huge boy, large boy, whatever. You see? Well done. So, guys, it's very important to understand the word forms. You see? That's why when you listen, they're not going to say, Sarah gave an excellent performance at the concert. They might say, Sarah's performance was phenomenal. When you listen, phenomenal or amazing, like you guys have, or great, like you guys have written, you see? So always try to understand that. Let me only explain this in Sinhala and maybe a bit in Tamil very quickly, only for this session. IELTS වල paraphrasing skill එක ඉතාමත්ම වැදගත්. ලංකාවේ අවාසනාවට මිනිස්සු ටීචර්ස්ලා එච්චර ફોකස් කරන්නේ ඒක ඉතාමත්ම දුකයි. මොකද හැම වෙලේම questions කියවද්දී ඔයගොල්ලෝ දැනගන්න ඕනේ keywords identify කරන්න. Keywords කියන්නේ අපිට ප්‍රශ්නයක් කියවද්දී understand කරන්න වැදගත් වෙන වචන. මම අද ඉගෙන උගන්වනවා ඒක. That's very important. IELTS වල வந்து keyword paraphrasing தான் முக்கியம். Every question is based on paraphrasing. ICT questions read பண்ண போக்கல நீங்க keywords identify பண்ண வேணும். அது சரியான முக்கியம். அது தான் first step உங்களோட high score. That's a very important thing. Okay, so guys, let's move on to the next one. Sarah and her friend had creative differences. Sarah and her friend had creative differences. Okay, now look at this. Sarah and her friend creatively. Now, creatively is an adverb. You see, creatively, like ran quickly. Right? So the word that is missing is a verb. Difference is the noun. What is the verb form of difference, guys? What is the verb form of difference? Sarah and her friend had creative differences. Sarah and her friend creatively. What do you think? What is the verb form of difference? Let's move on. And it was in the past. So we need to use past simple, right? The second form. Well done. Very good. So guys, it's differed. You see, Sarah and her friend differed creatively. You can't say differentiate. Differentiate is what you try to do. It's your effort. Like I can't differentiate, but they differ. He tried to differentiate, right? So remember, we can't say differentiate. It's just differ. Differ is the correct answer. So Sarah and her friend differed creatively. So guys, you need to know how to change word forms. That would definitely help you to achieve a good score even in writing. Now, let's say you're writing an essay. So instead of keep repeating spending, expenditure, expenses, people spent. So once you know how to change the word form, that would definitely increase your score. Okay. Now, guys, I spoke a lot about adjectives. So let's focus on synonyms now. Look at this sentence. It says, technology plays an important role in the education sector. Technology plays an important role in the education sector. What synonyms can we use instead of important? Technology plays an important role in the education sector. What other synonyms can we use instead of important? Now, important, you see, is an adjective. You see, technology plays an important role in the education sector. Now, I want more than one option. Well done. We can say vital. We can say crucial. We can say pivotal. We can say essential, right? Well done. Significant. Very good. So do you see, guys? This is a very important part. Now, listen to me carefully. We are at a very important stage now. Always remember, both for listening and for reading, when you read a question, if you come across adjectives and adverbs, you need to be prepared. Now, for example, if the question says, who played the most important role in the company? And when you listen, they're not going to say, in this company, John played the most important role. No, they will say, everyone contributed, but John's role was the most significant. It's always like that with listening, with reading, and even at the exam for speaking, the examiner expects you to use synonyms. And that's how you can expand your vocabulary. Now, guys, quickly, what about popular? What synonyms do you know for popular? Can you type quickly? For example, he is popular. He is popular. What other words can we use? And I want quick answers now. That's it. Great. So he is popular. How would you say it? Like he is popular. And what other synonyms can we use instead of popular? Just think about it. Very good. We can say famous, well-known, right? Prominent, like he's a prominent figure. Or guys, we can say he's a star. He's a celebrity, right? So do you see? That's why it's important. Because with adjectives, you can always come up with more than one option. Do you see, guys? So that's what I want to kind of, focus on. And I think it's a very important part. So before we move further, let's look at the next task. So we're going to actually focus on the next task now. So guys, look at these sentences. Can you give me better alternatives? Now look at this. Smoking is bad for health. Now bad is a common word. Good, bad, little, tiny. So don't use common words when you write, even when you speak. And what I'm teaching now would be important for your professional life as well. So smoking is bad for health. Smoking is bad for health, right? What other words can be used instead of bad? What do you think? Smoking is bad. Smoking is... Because bad is a common word and it's not going to impress the examiner. And actually the examiners might consider it to be poor choice, to be a poor choice. So instead of bad, smoking is bad, what other words can we use? And look at the next one. It is a big problem. So can you guys keep typing quickly, right? It is a big problem. Big, instead of big, what other options can we use? Problem, what other alternatives can we use, right? And we must save the environment. What other alternatives can we use? Children need more attention from their parents. So children need, what other alternatives can we use? So guys, injurious is not natural here. We need to use the right words. So smoking destroys health, maybe, yes. Detrimental, beautiful. Harshi, yes, I like Harshi's word here. And what a beautiful name, yeah, Harshi. Okay, so detrimental, harmful, yeah, destructive, yeah, detrimental, harmful, destructive. That's great. Detrimental, harmful, destructive. Yes, that's great. Well done, very good. Then guys, it is a big problem. It is a big problem. Very good. So a vital issue, a massive issue. Well done. Also, guys, we can use the word concern. Concern. Like a major concern. You see, when you're negotiating, you can't always say, I would like to discuss a few problems. I have a problem with you. Would you like that? No. So it's better to say, like, I have a concern to discuss. Or maybe we would like to raise a few concerns. We would like to raise a few concerns. That would make you sound natural. I hope it's clear. That would make you sound natural. We must save the environment. We must protect, preserve, conserve, right? So guys, I'm going to move on. That's what I'm trying to show you all. So whenever there are adjectives and adverbs, develop the habit of rephrasing it. That's what we are learning now. Whenever there are adjectives and adverbs, you need to develop the habit of rephrasing it. You see, so children need, children require. Yeah, so that's an important point, guys. That's great. That's great. Okay, so next one, guys, is actually to change the word order. So I love the effort. Yes, well done, guys. I love the effort. So we're going to move on. So the next point is to change the word order, right, in a sentence. And one of the ways is to use the passive voice. Now, for example, we use passive voice when we don't want to focus on who is doing the action, but on who is receiving or experiencing the action. Now, look at this first one. It says, the government should take immediate measures. We can say, immediate measures should be taken by the government. Parents should teach foreign languages at an early stage. We can say, foreign languages should be taught to children at an early stage. You see, parents should teach children foreign languages at an early stage. We can rephrase it and use the passive voice and say foreign languages should be taught to children at an early stage. Now we focus or we use the passive voice to emphasize on the action. Action එක focus කරන්න ඕන නම් අපි passive voice එක use කරනවා. நாங்க action focus பண்ண வேணுமெண்டா எங்களுக்கு passive voice use பண்ணணும். For example, my father built this house in 1980, but I don't want to mention my father. I want to show when the house was built. That's why the house was built in 1980. The house was built in 1980. Or for example, we have this problem because John did not do the delivery on time. So we are blaming, accusing. But if you want to be diplomatic, you can say, we have this problem because the delivery wasn't done on time. We have this problem because the delivery wasn't done on time. Is that clear? Yes. So that's an important thing, guys. Okay, so we have this problem because the delivery wasn't done on time. So we can use the passive voice here. So I hope it's clear. So 3 ways. Replacing words with synonyms, adjectives, adverbs, and verbs. Then changing the word form, very important for sentence completion, both for IELTS reading and IELTS listening. And changing the word order would be very useful when you're writing introductions for essays. I hope it's clear, guys, okay? So now let's focus on IELTS listening, okay? So remember, guys, IELTS listening is the first section at the exam. It's going to be only for 30 minutes, half an hour. You will have 40 questions. And if you make 10 mistakes, you'll achieve a 7. If you make 6 mistakes, you'll achieve a band 7.5. If you make 4 mistakes out of 40, you will achieve a band 8. And if you make 0 mistakes, it's going to be a band 9, right? It's actually pretty clear. So while the first 2 parts focus on everyday situations, the last 2 parts are based on academic context. Now, if you're taking general IELTS, the format, the question types, they are the same. So both for academic IELTS, general IELTS, UKVI academic, UKVI general, listening is the same. I hope it's clear. I hope it's clear. So they don't differ, guys. So don't think much about it. So always remember that IELTS listening, the format is the same. It's going to be for half an hour. And for us in Sri Lanka, we don't have the paper-based test. For now, I don't know what will be tomorrow, but for now, we don't have the paper-based test. And I can tell you that it's going to be unavailable in many parts of the world. So let's be prepared for the computer-based test. So now let's quickly understand the first part, part 1 listening. Remember, part 1 listening is always a conversation. It's always a conversation. And it focuses on basic everyday conversation in familiar settings. Questions often include form filling, matching or multiple choice formats. You'll hear 2 speakers talking in a casual setting. Pay attention to specific details such as dates, times, names, or places. So guys, it's the same format. That's the great thing about IELTS compared to TOEFL, compared to PTE. You just need to understand the format. The only thing is you can't practice IELTS listening with YouTube videos. Who's doing that here? Maybe you're preparing on your own. You're fully dependent on YouTube videos. Who is doing that? Please say yes, I'm doing it. And that's going to be horrible. I'm sorry to say. Who is visiting this website called IELTSpracticetestonline.com? Have you ever heard that? I had a girl from Sri Lanka who has been practicing and she was almost about to cry because, guys, those are not official websites. Please don't stick to those websites. And also don't use ChatGPT too much. Use ChatGPT as an assistant. Don't depend on ChatGPT to check your essays, please. Okay, so I think you all are smarter than that. So don't do those things. And especially if it's not the paid version, may God be with you. Okay, I'm being very straightforward here. So guys, IELTSpracticetestonline.com, Simon, Jay, whoever, just need to understand before you go to them, you stick to the official websites like IELTS.org. Maybe if you want, you can see the other official videos, but not like, every video that you see. Why I'm saying this is that if you stick to official materials, official guidelines, it's going to be easier. Okay. So guys, remember, part 1 is always a conversation. And in most cases, in like 90%, you need to fill in a form like what we have here. So that's why you need to predict the missing word. Now, for example, I know it's a bit small here. It says, write one word and or a number, and they will play the audio and you will focus on the first 5 questions, usually 5 or 6. And then they'll give you some time to go through questions 6 to 10. You understand, yes? So during those 30 seconds, when they give you 30 to 40 seconds, we should focus on each and every question and predict the missing information. Now, postcode is a code. And now in the Western world, the code also comes with alphabets like EV6789. Be prepared. Then, guys, you see, date of bus journey, it's a date. Now, 25th of November, 1985. In most cases, when we have to deal with dates, price, they will confuse you. Hamma velema dates, price kiyaddi, ඔගලංග confuse කරනවා different options කියලා. அவங்க confuse பண்ணுவாங்க different options சொல்லி. For example, they might say, well, the bus used to leave on Mondays, but this time it's going to be on Tuesday. So I guess it's going to be the 25th. No, I'm sorry. It's going to be the 24th of November or 24th of February, for example. So you have to be very attentive. You have to be attentive because all the time, even distance, price, they always do that. Okay, guys. Look at question number 3. Reason for trip, shopping and visit to the. Guys, what is the missing word here? We have the definite article. Can you tell me what type of word is missing? Shopping and visit to the. Visit to the. So is the missing word a noun, verb, adjective, or an adverb? What is it? Shopping and visit to the. So is the missing word a noun, verb, adjective, or an adverb? You need to understand that, guys. What is it? That's the only way you're going to achieve a band 9 or even a band 7 or 8 for IELTS listening. What is it? Shopping and visit to the. Very important, guys, to understand the missing word. And definitely, very good. The answer, it's a noun. It is a noun, right? Visit to the cafe, to the shopping mall, to the city center, to the museum. Well done. Well done. So it's actually a noun. You see? Now, you see, even question number 4, something is too high. So missing word, maybe transport, maybe taxi, maybe it's too high. Maybe, you see, travel by bus because cost of something, cost of taxi, cost of parking is too high. You see, so I will teach you in my program because, when we cover all the question types. So definitely, guys, it's important. Then part 2 is a monologue, one person talking, a monologue or a talk on a familiar subject. Only one person talks. That's the thing, guys. Even when even if you're studying with a tutor, okay, ask the right questions because you're spending money, and more than that, you're spending your time. Because I know when I was in Uzbekistan, because as a representative, when I was in Uzbekistan, would you believe most of the teachers, I'm not scared to say this, when I asked, they were shivering. They were shivering. I asked, what is the context of every part? Go ahead. And when I even interview Sri Lankan teachers, when I ask questions, they don't come back to me, but they know that it's going to be tough working with me. Because, not that I'm saying I know, but I worked hard to know. But I think it's important for them to know, because you're going to study with those teachers and your future depends on them. You rely on them, right? It's the same as a doctor. I don't know whether we have doctors now. Now, we want the doctor to be good because we rely on them. Our life depends on them, right? So you need to know your stuff if you're a teacher. I don't know whether we have. Otherwise, better not to teach. That's my opinion. Because if you look at IELTS, we just need to know the format, and then it's going to be easier for students as well. So guys, here in IELTS Part 2 listening, it's a monologue, one person talking. And remember, focus on information such as instructions, announcements, or explanation. Then common question types include multiple choice and matching questions. You will hear one speaker providing detailed information. So usually, guys, you will have multiple choice questions and question with multiple options. And you will have the same question types with Part 3, but that's a bit different. But in Part 2, it's always one person talking about a museum, about an amusement park, about an exhibition, about a library and how things are being planned. So there can be a map as well. So that's Part 2 listening for you. Part 3 becomes more challenging. Why? Because it's an academic situation. That means two students speaking about a project, about a report, about a presentation. So yes, we have multiple choice questions. Yes, we have question with multiple option. But here, it's more academic, and we also need to deal with their opinions. One might agree, other might disagree. They might both agree, right? So here we need to be more focused. The approach is the same, but that is the format. Now, this is how IELTS listening has been for more than 10 years. So let's understand the format, okay? Then, guys, Part 4 is always a lecture talk. Now, with Part 1, 2, and 3, when you listen like, the first 5 questions. Then the exam would give some time for you to go through questions 6 to 10. Then you will listen, and then you'll answer. So you'll always have a pause, a break. But with Part 4, you don't get that break. So you need to answer all the questions at a stretch without a pause. Is that clear? So here, guys, again, you see, you need to predict the missing word. What kind of word is missing? And as you can see, there are subheadings, reasons for overpopulation. So when you listen, the exam would say, as for why elephants became overpopulated, well, first of all, so guys, I will definitely teach you, but you need to understand the context, okay? So if you want to achieve a very high score, it's not rocket science, it's not difficult. You need to understand the question type, and you need to implement all the essential skills. Now, that's why, guys, stay focused now. We're gonna learn how to answer multiple choice questions. I'm very sure what I'm going to teach you now, you will not find even on YouTube. So since I'm going to do it for free, just listen to me carefully. And if you have your pen and paper, take down notes, because unfortunately, the recording won't be shared tomorrow. So listen to me carefully. It's the most common question type, and I've decided to do it today. So listen to me carefully. So how to answer multiple choice questions, okay? It'll be important. So remember, what is the syllabus? Because when we prepared for A-levels, what was the first question? Sir, syllabus ka cover karaida. Syllabus ka panwoma. So can you ask any institute in Sri Lanka or any teacher, what is the IELTS listening syllabus? Ask them. If they can give an answer, check it, join them. If they don't, you need to think twice. So guys, if you look at IELTS listening, these are the question types you need to learn. Sentence completion, multiple choice questions, summary completion, matching questions, questions with 2 options, table completion, map labeling, flowchart completion. You see, so during a program or when you prepare based on official guidelines, you need to know how to approach every question type, okay? And for listening, guys, you need to master these skills. Paraphrasing, we already know a bit about it, right? We know the 3 ways. Identifying keywords. When you read questions, you need to identify keywords, words which are important for us to understand the question. Predicting missing words. You saw we have sentence completion. So we need to know what to predict, what word is missing, what kind of word, and what information. And then we need to pay attention to distractors. That's the way forward, guys. Okay? So, guys, I'm going to show you how to deal with multiple choice questions for listening. Okay? Here we have two questions. Look at the first question. It says, what does the speaker apologize about the seat? Why does the speaker apologize about the seats? So always remember the keywords are the subject, the verb, adjective, adverb. So why? Speaker apologize about seats. Apologize about seats. Why does he say sorry? Look at the options. They are too small. There are not enough of them. There are not enough of them. Some of them are very close together. So guys, can you quickly type synonyms? Number one, they are too small. How to say it differently? They are too small. How would you say it differently? B, there are not enough of them. There are not enough of them. And C, some of them are very close together. So they are too small. There are not enough of them. Some of them are very close together. So too small, how would you say it differently? Not enough of them, how would you say it differently? And some of them are very close together. Well done. Very good. Very good. I like the way, yes, too tiny, right? Maybe not that spacious, we can say. Not enough of them. Like, there are not enough of them. So we can say we lack enough chairs, and some of them are very close together. Imagine if the seats are close together, how would we feel? If they're all placed, well done, insufficient, well done, very good, insufficient, we can say, or we lack sufficient number of chairs, right? We can say it like that as well. Very good. Very good. Very good. Love the effort. Love the effort, guys. Love the options. Really love it. Very good. Well done. Well done. Keep it up. Definitely. We might feel tight. Very good. So you see, guys, here are the options. They are too small. We can say the chairs aren't big enough, or let's say tiny. There are not enough of them. We are short of chairs. And of course, some of them are very close together. The chairs are tightly packed. Well done. Very good. They are packed. Very good. And you see, look at the next one. What does the speaker say about the age of volunteers? The age of volunteers is less important than other factors. That means not significant, less important. We learned this new word, significant, not that significant. Young volunteers are less reliable than older ones. That means they are less consistent or not as dependable. Most volunteers are about 60 years old. That means they are approaching retirement age. So guys, what are the steps? Step one, read the question. Why does the speaker apologize about the seats? And then guys, go through the options. They're too small. That means they are tiny or not big enough. There are not enough of them. That means we are short of chairs or we lack sufficient number of chairs. Some of them are very close together. They're tightly packed. Question B, what does the speaker say about the age of volunteers? The age of volunteers is less important than other factors, not that significant. Young volunteers are less reliable than older ones, less consistent or not as dependable. Most volunteers are about 60 years old. That means they are approaching retirement age. So you need to rephrase it to understand each and every option better. So guys, I want everyone to read the transcript because we're not going to play the audio. It might take a bit of time. Let me read it for you, and I want you all to choose the correct option, okay? So let me read it, and then I want you all to type the correct answer. Are you guys ready? I'm sure you guys are. Let's start. Good evening, everyone. Let me start by welcoming you all to this talk and thanking you. Good evening, everyone. Let me start by welcoming you all to this talk and thanking you for taking the time to consider joining ACE Volunteer Organization. ACE offers support to people and services in the local area, and we are now looking for more volunteers to help us do this. By the way, I hope you're all comfortable. We have brought in extra seats so that no one has to stand, but it does mean that the people at the back of the room may be a bit squashed. We'll only be here for about half an hour or so. Hopefully, that's okay. And then, guys, you see, it says one of the first questions we are often asked is how old you need to be to volunteer. Well, you can be as young as 16 or you can be 60 or over. It all depends on what type of voluntary work you want to do. Other considerations such as reliability are crucial in voluntary work, and age isn't related to this in our experience. So what are the correct options, guys? So as you can see, guys, right? If you look at A, why does the speaker apologize about the seats? They are too small? No. Nothing about seats being too small. B, there are not enough of them. No. What does she say? She says, like, we have brought in extra seats so that no one has to stand. No one has to stand. So that means it's not the answer. But it does mean that the people at the back of the room may be a bit squashed. So it is C. It is C. Question number B. What does the speaker say about the age of volunteers? You see, the age of volunteers is less important than other factors. Young volunteers are less reliable than older ones. Most volunteers are about 60 years old. So here, one of the first questions we are often asked is how old you need to be to volunteer. Well, you can be as young as 16 or you can be 60 or over. It all depends on what type of voluntary work you want to do. Other considerations such as reliability are crucial in voluntary work, and age isn't related to this. So A, the age of volunteers is less important. Well done. So it's C and A. It's C and A, guys. Very good. You see, so I've mentioned that. So I think you guys understand it. So guys, remember, with multiple choice questions, there are three things you need to know. Number one, when the speaker speaks, he will not go according to the options. He might mention or not mention C. He might then move on to A. So it won't be in the same logical order. IELTS listening wala multiple choice questions deal karaddi එකම order එකට යන්නේ නැහැ. ඒ හින්දා තමයි ගොඩාක් students ලා multiple choice question වලදී lost වෙන්නේ. They get lost. Why? Because they think that it's going to be the same order. Don't fall for that. Don't fall for that. Number two, write this down. Always remember, one option is not mentioned. Always. One is a distractor. One is the correct answer. Is that clear, guys? One will always be not mentioned. One is a distractor. One is the correct answer. So how to understand the correct answer or differentiate it from the distractor? Look at the first one. What does she say? She says, by the way, I hope you're all comfortable. We have brought in extra seats so that no one has to stand. So that's why B is a distractor. A was not mentioned at all. But it does mean that people at the back of the room may be a bit squashed. So the correct answer is C. So that's the thing, guys. At the beginning, you need to learn these skills gradually, like I did today, one by one. Then, don't you agree? Yes or no? Tell me the truth. If you do a complete test of multiple choice questions, you will master it. And then, guys, when you do a complete test, you know what to look for. Without that, guys, like we do in Sri Lanka, other product listening karamu lamai, teacher product print out dila, okay, that product listening moka da answer eka, kamak ne product pray karanna okkama hariyai, very attention ganne epa, ඊට පස්සේ product ආණ්ඩුව ගැන කතා කරනවා. Guys, this is really sad in Sri Lanka, you know. We are living in a era where AI is taking over. And Sri Lanka, guys, with these mass class and so on, I think we are way behind. I have to say that we have a lot of potential. But the thing is, you know, where things are being done, because I know I've lived in Eastern Europe for more than 20 years now. And, you know, if you look at the standard of the education system in Finland and where we are just harping around the same thing over and over. You see, so try to understand the principle, because if you guys got it right, and I'm very sure, like all my students, you guys can achieve a very high score as well. That's why it took so much time. So, guys, our programs, right? We just don't prepare students with lessons. We also have included a platform. So we are the only organization now, if I'm not mistaken, in Sri Lanka, where we have a proper interactive platform. This is not stolen videos from other lessons from other teachers. These are not like, Google Drive lessons. This is a genuine platform, AI integrated from Eastern Europe. So apart from my lessons or from our European teachers, you'll also have access to our platform. There are 360 lessons, 360 interactive lessons, depending on the program you choose. And that in those programs, you will learn more tasks, like, avoid spelling mistakes. It's important. How to differentiate numbers, identifying distractors. I told you, there'll always be a distractor. I mentioned that. Writing down numbers while listening. And then, of course, we have exam practice sections. So, guys, it's actually very useful. If you want to know, guys, about my programs, the link is given below. So click to register and leave your contact details. Our manager will contact you. So that will be interesting, guys. So now, before we move on, we'll focus on reading now, guys. Okay. So remember, as for IELTS reading, it differs when it comes to the module. So if you're taking academic IELTS, it's going to be more challenging. If you're taking general IELTS, it's going to be a bit easier. So remember, it's going to be the second part at the exam, and it's going to be for 1 hour, 60 minutes. And doesn't matter whether you take academic, general, UKVI, it's going to be for 1 hour. If you're taking academic IELTS, you will have 3 passages. If you're taking general IELTS, you're going to have 3 sections. Now, for every section, there'll be 2 small text. So for every passage, you will have 12 to 14 questions for IELTS reading. 12 to 14 questions. So, guys, once again, remember, you're going to have 3 passages if you're taking academic IELTS. You're going to have 3 sections. And for the first 2 sections for general reading, you're going to have 2 small text. And for the last section, you're going to have 1 long passage. So both for academic IELTS and for general IELTS, you will have 40 questions. Now, if you're finding IELTS reading difficult, these are the reasons. Number 1, lack of exposure. You need to read. So if you're reading newspapers or news in Sinhala or in Tamil, change that habit, read it in English. Even if it's difficult, expose yourself. Then, guys, never start with practice test. Okay, I've decided to pass IELTS, let me do a practice test. That is going to break your confidence. You need to learn the essential skills. Then, guys, always remember, you should never read the whole text for IELTS reading. That's why in some YouTube videos, I'm sorry to say, they are wrong. Your approach is to find answers for all the questions given. Then don't try to answer from your knowledge. You can be the best doctor, you could be the best engineer, and if it's something related to your field, don't try to answer from what you know. Answer from the text. That's a very important point, because some students, they do, and then, that could be a disaster. So, number 1, expose yourself. Number 2, make sure to understand the format. Number 3, always remember, you're not supposed to read the whole text. Your aim is to find answers for all the questions. And the next point, guys, don't try to answer from your knowledge. When it comes to IELTS reading, remember, there are 5 skills. So always remember, every teacher should know it. There are 5 essential skills. 1 is skimming, to read quickly and understand the general idea. The next one is scanning, to find specific information. Number 3, identifying keywords. It's the same for listening. Read every question and identify keywords. Number 5, paraphrasing, a very important skill. And number 4, guys, number 5, predicting the missing words. So for sentence completion, because we have it in IELTS reading, to complete sentences, to complete summaries, right? We need to predict the missing word. So everything is based on these 5 skills. So, guys, syllabus. We want to know the syllabus, right? Will we cover the syllabus? Yes. So the most common question type, one of the most common question types, is actually summary completion. Doesn't matter whether you take the exam tomorrow, maybe in a month, maybe in 4 months. This is the most common question type. Then, guys, matching headings. Not that common, but can be at the exam, but it is the most confusing. Students usually struggle with matching headings. Then we have finding information from the paragraph. You will definitely have it for your exam because there are 3 passages. Maybe this could be one of the question types in one of the passages. Then classification questions. So we need to find out what is the correct description about each of these 3 cuts. Like a TSI cut, you need to scan for TSI and then match with the correct description. Then, guys, we have true, false, not given. Extremely common. You will definitely have this question type. And I'm pretty sure if you're here, you must have seen this question type for IELTS reading. And then, guys, multiple choice questions. Same as listening. Always remember, 1 is not mentioned, 1 is a distractor, 1 is the correct answer. It all depends on how you understand the question. So you need to kind of identify keywords when you read the question. So, guys, there are other question types too, like yes, no, not given, completing a summary from the words given in a box, then sentence ending, like, completing sentences with the other part of the sentence. So there are other subtypes, but those are the main types, especially from 2019 till now. Those are 2024 or 23, 2 years ago. So no, I mean, 20, doesn't matter, guys. So for the past few years, those are the question types we've had mainly at the exam. So just need to be prepared to face those question types. So now I'm going to show you how to answer true, false, not given. Okay, how to answer true, false, not given. So this question type, you'll be given a statement and you need to know whether the given statement is true, false, or not given. Now look at this, guys. It says, do the following statements agree with the information given in the text below in boxes 1 to 6 on your answer sheet? Write true if the statement agrees with the information, false if the statement contradicts the information, not given if there is no information on this. If there is no information on this, okay? So look at this statement, guys. Don't read the paragraph. Remember, our main aim is to focus on the question or the statement and identify keywords. Look at the statement. It says, you can work through parts of a course more than once. You can work through parts more than once. That means you can repeat a section multiple times. You can work through parts more than once. That means you can repeat a section many times, right? Because work through parts more than once, you can repeat a section multiple times. Guys, can you read the first 3 lines and tell me whether this statement is true, false, or not given? You can work through parts of a course more than once. That means you can repeat a section more than once. Can you read the first 3 lines and tell me whether this statement is true, false, or not given? So guys, look at the first 3 lines. It says, Learn with Us courses are a great way to learn because they are so flexible. All our courses are taken online using a computer, so you can work through the course at your own speed and go back to any session whenever you want to. You see, so Learn with Us courses are a great way to learn because they are so flexible. All our courses are taken online using a computer, so you can work through the course at your own speed and go back to any session whenever you want to. Look at the statement. It says you can work through parts of a course more than once. So definitely, guys, it is true, isn't it? Very good. It's true. Absolutely. Absolutely. You guys are right. So it's a no-brainer. It's true. It's true. Well done. Very good. So that's why it's very important to understand the keywords, right? And once you pay attention to keywords, rephrase the statement and read the paragraph. And that way, guys, you'll understand whether it's true, false, or not given. Well done. Very good. Look at this one. Now focus on the statement. It says, the number of courses offered by Learn With Us has increased enormously. The number of courses offered by Learn With Us has increased enormously. So look at the statement. Number of courses offered increased enormously. That means from 500 to 1,000. Now, when you read the text, you need to see that increase, a significant increase. If you don't find it, then this statement is not given. If you see that information, then this is true. If you see the opposite, like they say, we used to offer 1,000, but now we offer only 200, then this statement is false. So guys, can you tell me whether it's true, false, or not given? That's why keywords are important here. You understand, yes? Number of courses offered by Learn With Us has increased enormously, right? Number of courses offered has increased enormously. Have they increased the number of courses? Well done, guys. So the answer here is not given. It's not given. It's a no-brainer. It's just not given, right? So we should not think twice. So it's a no-brainer. It's not given. Absolutely. Well done. I love the responses, and you guys are right. You guys are absolutely correct here. So it's just not given, right? Because although here they say we offer hundreds of courses in a whole range of subjects from reading, writing, and maths to business management, many of these are specially designed for people whose first language isn't English. Nothing about they have increased enormously. Nothing about increase. They offer 100, yes, but nothing about an increase. So do you understand the importance of keywords? Do you understand the importance of paraphrasing? So that is an important thing in IELTS reading. So guys, remember, if you want to achieve a good score, you need to focus on all the question types. Now, that's what I do in my course. So it's a very exclusive program. But anyway, guys, I want to offer something really amazing to you all. That's why you need to sign up. Remember, we have a free IELTS assessment from an expert. And actually, guys, it's going to be very important because quite often students prepare without assessing their current level. So I'm going to share. Now, Yana will share the link of our website. So please leave your contact details. So it will appear, guys, or you can just click to register. So Yana, please. Thank you very much. Yeah. So guys, for example, you can actually register for a free consultation with one of our managers. They will assess your level, okay? And they will ask you to take a grammar test. They will ask you to take a grammar test, and actually it's going to be for free. Then, guys, they will also see your ability to use your vocabulary. So it's actually very nice, guys. So please use that opportunity. And then also, if you want to prepare with us, right? If you want to join one of our courses, they will tell you how long you should prepare. So the link is given. And also, guys, you will receive my PDF, like, get our premium PDFs for IELTS writing and speaking skills. One is actually from our IELTS testing center from Eastern Europe, which is called Good Testing. And one is actually related to writing. So guys, first come first, you need to register now. The link is shared. So if you're keen, please go ahead. Fine. So now, guys, quickly, I'm going to go through IELTS writing. Okay. So what you should know. And then, we'll go to speaking and we'll finish within another 15-20 minutes. So guys, when it comes to IELTS writing, here are the things that you need to know. So guys, stay focused. Yes. So remember, soon after reading, you're going to have writing. Soon after reading. So first listening half an hour, reading 1 hour, then writing. So although it sounds okay, mentally, you're going to be exhausted because you're going to focus on writing essays, and that should be not less than 150 for task 1 and not less than 250 for task 2. So that's a big task. And that's why it's very important to simulate exam conditions at home. ගොඩක් වෙලාවට ළමයි students ලැබිලා මේ prepare වෙද්දී complete mock test කරන්නේ නැහැ. පොඩක් listening කරනවා, reading කරනවා, and also we are very busy, right? We are professionals. Right, so we have our job, we have our family, we also need to have some time for leisure. That's important. We need to find time for workouts. So what happens is they just keep postponing things, and then they don't simulate exam conditions. So that's very important, guys. So when you're preparing for the exam, and if you have your exam, let's say in a week, now is the time to do a complete test. And you should also have a timer. Do a listening, soon after that, do reading, and soon after that, write essays, task 1, task 2. Simulate that system, and that way you'll be more prepared to face it, and it will be more effective when you sit for the exam. So guys, writing is going to be for 1 hour. Task 1, if you're taking academic IELTS, remember we need to describe graphs, bar charts, pie charts, and maps. If you're taking general IELTS, you need to write essays. So we know that we have to write reason solution, opinion, discussion, and 2-question essays. So it's very important to understand that you can't achieve a very good score if you're not familiar with the marking criteria. So that's why I would like to speak about the marking criteria, guys. So remember, at the exam, the examiner is going to assess you based on 4 criteria: task response, coherence and cohesion, vocabulary, and grammar. So when your teacher checks your essay, he or she should give you feedback based on all 4 criteria. Not like grammar is good, vocabulary is good, but what's the score? What should I do further? So guys, remember we have 4 criteria: task response, coherence and cohesion, vocabulary, and grammar. So task response, we need to address the task. We need to develop our answers with reasons and examples. Coherence means logical sequencing. Cohesion means connecting ideas. And for vocabulary, guys, we need to use formal words, words related to the topic. And for grammar, we need to use more complex structures. So students fail to achieve a very good score because of poor structuring, poorly developing ideas, informal style of writing, and poor grammar and sentence skills. That's why they can't achieve a very high score. So guys, I'm going to show you 2 paragraphs now. I'm going to show you guys 2 paragraphs, and I want you all to identify the paragraph which is really well structured. So there are 2 paragraphs here. Is it A or B? The paragraph that is logical, like, reason is mentioned, the outcome is mentioned, the solution is mentioned, and there is a proper flow. Which paragraph is cohesive, where linkers are used? Is it A or B? And I want a quick answer. Now, A says the obvious reason for a stressful working atmosphere nowadays is the increasing level of competitiveness among employees. Consequently, this leads to a hostile atmosphere in the working environment. The best solution for this is for employers to create team activities. For instance, it is known that many international companies organize tasks focusing on teams, which have made the employees perform effectively in a relaxed atmosphere. But look at B. Working atmosphere becomes stressful because people have too much to do. I think the work should be limited. It's the employer's responsibility to do so. If not, employees will leave. Another problem is that employees don't know how to manage their time. My friend, for example, was always stressed at work. This was mainly because he was failing to manage things. So guys, which is well structured? Is it A or B? Well done. Very good. It's A. It's A. It's A. So quite often, students struggle because they fail to structure their paragraphs cohesively. So it's very important to understand this. So that's why now I'm going to show you a simple paragraph, but it's still good enough to achieve a band 7. Look at this. It says, environmental pollution affects our planet in various ways. Firstly, it has a direct, so guys, it's like answers to not A, don't pay attention to that. Firstly, it has a direct impact on human health through poor air quality. For example, studies show that respiratory diseases have increased by 40% in urban areas over the last decade. Furthermore, pollution damages natural ecosystems and wildlife. In particular, the recent oil spill in the Pacific Ocean destroyed marine habitats across thousands of kilometers. Therefore, urgent action is needed to protect our environment. So, guys, always remember when you come up with your point, use a simple sentence. Then say, firstly, elaborate. For example, right? Furthermore, elaborate with an example, and then conclude it. That is very important, guys. And that is what is called coherence and cohesion. It's the same for IELTS speaking. So if the examiner asks, what do you like about living in your city? You can't say, I like my city. The transportation is good and many buses and trains are there. Also, food is nice here. Many restaurants in my city. I think it's a good place. More than 60% of the candidates, they speak like that. Even the ones who are fluent. Even the ones who are fluent, they speak like this. So what do you like about living in your city? You see, there are several things I enjoy about living in Tokyo. First, I love the public transportation because it's always on time and goes everywhere. Additionally, the food culture is amazing. I can find delicious restaurants open at any time of day. That's why I'm happy to call Tokyo my home. And even if the examiner asks, what do you like about your job? You can't say, no, I have a good salary, boss is a nice guy, environment is friendly. No. What do you like about your job? I appreciate a number of things. First of all, it's the friendly atmosphere. In other words, whenever there is an issue, we always try to support each other, and I value that. On top of that, I must say, I'm quite happy with the pay because for my position, I think compared to other companies, they pay enough or they pay in a way that I feel satisfied. So these are the reasons why I love my job. So if you can first start with that, that will be great. ඒක ලොකු දෙයක් නෙමෙයි, ඒක අමාරු නෑ, ඒක ට්‍රේන් වෙන්න ඕනේ. ඒක තමයි අපි හැම වෙලේම අපේ කෝස් වල කරන්නේ. නම් එකට කෝස් ලා අයිතා මිච්චම පරිචු කුඩකද because you will always have WH questions like what, why. Check the IELTS speaking test questions, guys. And please, once again, don't Google for speaking test questions. Please don't do that. It's fake. Don't ask ChatGPT to give questions too. You need to stick to Cambridge IELTS practice test book. So guys, linkers are important. You need to know to sequence ideas. We can say firstly, secondly, or the primary reason, the most obvious reason. And when you add information to use moreover, furthermore, in addition, besides, right? And when you give contrasting ideas, you need to know these linkers. And when you speak about results, like as a result, therefore, that is why, hence, for this reason, you need to know how to use them skillfully. So guys, I think I have done a lot today. So I know you must have attended many sessions as well, but I'm a guy, I believe in giving quality knowledge because I think as a teacher, that's my responsibility. So if you look at any skill, right, before we finish, remember there are 4 steps. Now, why, for example, right, we learn, we study hard, right, we are reading every day, but then we forget. අපිට අමතක වෙනවා. අපි A-level exams එක ගැන හිතද්දී O-level exam එක ගැන හිතද්දී ශිෂ්‍යත්වය ගැන හිතද්දී ඕන exam එකක් හිතද්දී SIMA, SIM, whatever, right? So the thing is, guys, you see, we study hard, but then we forget or we are not able to implement. Why is that? That is because we don't focus on that method, which is called APIA. So remember, the brain needs 4 stages to master a skill. The first step is to acquire. Second step is to practice. Third step is to implement. Fourth step is to assess. It's the same as cricket. First, you learn the technique. Second, you practice as much as you can. Third, you play a match. Fourth, you assess your progress. Now in IELTS, exam cannot be the first match. We need a team A match, like a test match or whatever, right? So for that, guys, you need to take the mock exam. That's why I said you have to simulate exam conditions. So that's what we do now. For example, today you know about true, false, not given. I agree. We just covered a point, but we need to practice more, right? Don't you agree? If you practice more at the exam, it's going to be much easier. Agreed? Agreed. Multiple choice question, I showed you what we should do. We kind of understood the transcript, but now when you listen and focus on one question at a time, won't you get it right? You will definitely get it right. And at the exam, it's going to be much easier. So that's where, guys, my course comes into effect. And I can tell you proudly, and I can tell you without a doubt, I don't consider any Sri Lankan course to do better than me. And I doubt that they can do better because I have more results than anyone has ever shown in Sri Lanka. Consistent 8, 8.5, 9 for listening, 9 for reading. You can please ask our managers to send all the results with the reviews, genuine reviews. And also we have video recordings, so you will understand my teaching effort. So guys, before I speak about the course, I just want you to understand how it works. So our course structure, we have interactive lessons. So you attend lessons twice a week, depending on the program. But if your level is not that enough, අපි සමහරට හිතනවා අපි පොඩ ඉංග්‍රීසි එක හදා ගන්න ඕනේ. නම් கொஞ்சம் ඉංග්‍රීසි கொஞ்சம் improve பண்ணிட்டா. That's true. It's very important. So we also have programs where you have to attend 4 days a week for 10 weeks. That's 40 lessons. That's a bit of a commitment, I agree. But it is important, guys, right? If it's a very important phase in your life, I also have a program called English for Career and Exams. So that's twice a week plus IELTS. And people love it. They just love that program too. Then personal guidance. So guys, our team will constantly assess your progress on our platform. So every student is going to have a personal trainer on our platform. And then guys, as you know, we have ex-examiners from Eastern Europe. So we are the only organization that is providing European teachers to train Sri Lankan students. We are the only organization. Proper European, highly qualified teachers. And then guys, interactive platform. So how do you see the journey with me? First, preparation. You need to attend lessons. If you miss lessons, recordings will be shared. Then guys, practice. So work weekly on the platform with interactive lessons. So imagine 2 lessons per week, 2 hours per each lesson. So 4 hours for lessons, and just allocate only 2 hours, additional 2 hours each week for the platform. That's more than enough. Then the mock exam, it's included. Pre-exam support. Every student gets that support till they pass the exam. Essays are checked. There are enough and more interactive lessons on the platform, and then you will achieve a very high score. We will share some of our results of our students, recent results too. And quite often students, they love the platform. They say that the platform is a great blessing. We had a lady who finished the program, let's say 2 months ago, and she was very busy. And then she didn't even inform us, but we had given the access to the platform. It's unlimited access. And she had used the platform and she was so thankful, and she achieved an overall 8. So guys, that's why the platform is so useful apart from our lesson. And also guys, remember, we are partnered with IDP IELTS. And I must tell you, I don't care what the others think, IDP is doing a phenomenal job. They are so supportive. Students love it. Watch my podcast. We'll share some recordings as well. And you can watch the interviews with my student Melan and other students as well. And their experience, and they all set for the exam with IDP. So we can help you to register. And when you register with IDP, they will also give you access to 70 mock practice tests. That's great. So that fear about the computer test, you should take it out, guys, because everything is taken care by IDP IELTS. So not the British Council. We work with IDP IELTS. So guys, we have 3 programs. One is IELTS Essential. Let's say you're a busy person, you have no time to attend classes. So you will fully depend on the platform with my video lessons, interactive tasks, and you will attend live lessons only for 2 weeks, 4 lessons. That's going to be fine because you will be fully depending on the platform. Then guys, IELTS Expert. That's going to be for 5 weeks. Now, if you have a good level, let's say B1 to C1, go for the expert program. It's going to be only for 5 weeks, 10 lessons, plus the platform. 12 essays are checked. You'll also have additional support. So guys, if you have a good level, don't think about it. Go for the program. We have helped so many people with this program. Then we have the IELTS Proficiency. That's going to be for 10 weeks. This is for people who are kind of struggling to speak a bit. Maybe they want to work on their grammar. We work on that. So that's why you have 40 lessons. You have 40 lessons. That's quite a lot. You have 40 lessons, 20 lessons for IELTS and 20 lessons for general English. And students love it too, but that's a 10-week preparation, 10 weeks, remember. So, in 10 weeks, you'll be able to take the exam successfully. And for the proficiency course, we also include a grammar course on the platform. So that's how the programs are structured. So guys, as for the pricing, right? Usually we charge essential 14,000, expert 24,000, and proficiency 38,000. But with all our participants today, guys, 11,000 only for the essential. Remember, with the essential program, you have 300 interactive lessons on the platform, and you have a European trainer who will be assisting you. For the expert, which is for 5 weeks, you're going to have 10 live lessons, 2-hour session, and maybe sometimes 90 minutes. But speaking and writing, we'll meet through Zoom. Listening and reading, usually done by European experts, but easy to understand them. Or guys, it will be me. So it's going to be 10 lessons, and we cover the syllabus. That's it. We cover the syllabus. Don't worry. We cover all the essay types. If you're taking academic IELTS, we will teach you how to describe graphs, bar charts, pie charts, and maps. But proficiency, guys, we focus on general English as well. So altogether, 40 lessons there, and then 10 lessons for expert and the essential. So guys, platform is also provided. So I think it's a great deal. Guys, don't get me wrong. I'm very sorry to say, only in Sri Lanka, people ask me, can you give me a free course? Can you teach me for free? Free karana barida, free aparichukuruka mudiyuma. I think, guys, that's not the right thing to ask. Please don't. I'm not speaking about you all, but when students ask me, I'm a professional. You're a professional. If you're a professional, if someone comes and asks you, you will think twice, right? Because you have a family to feed, you have a career. We are living in a corporate environment, right? So it's very important to understand these things, right? So some people say, oh, I thought everything is for free. No, we never said that. The strategic session is for free. And I think I have given you more than enough. I showed you many things. We gave you access to certain things. So it all comes with a price, right? So my knowledge is actually 10 years, guys. 4,000 students overall, European, Sri Lankans, the Middle East. So that's a commitment. And I think you all should not get that wrong idea, guys, because only in Sri Lanka, we get that question. What about free? Anything for free, right? That's not correct, guys. Because, we are professionals and you are a professional. If you're a doctor, we can't always expect the doctor to do it for free. The government is providing it for free, but the doctor is being paid, right? The engineer is doing something, maybe the government, because we are paying taxes to the government. So it's also not for free. If you think education is for free, no, you're paying taxes for that. So we are living in that reality. So if you want quality, it comes with a price. If you want to kind of, go after free resources, then things become disorganized. So we pay money for a solution. Now, if you think that I have that solution, if you believe in it, go ahead. If you think it's not, then don't. That is your choice, because, we always have the power to choose. That's a very important thing as well. So guys, please don't get that idea with us, because I don't want you all to feel that, because it kind of is not the wrong confusion, which I don't want you all to have. If you liked it, you liked it, right? But if you don't like it, you don't like it. That's it, right? So nobody's going to trouble you. You just move on, right? So guys, we have done a great job. So it's been more than 3 years now. So, we have a step-by-step approach in the preparation. Then what you need to understand is you always get to revise skills. So that's an important point. So please try to understand. And also, guys, right, you will learn over 400 words, because we always want to expand. We have to expand our vocabulary. So that will be done as well. And finally, guys, I just want you to know that you will have enough and more speaking practice, because many preparation programs, they don't focus on every individual. Let's say, how is Samantha progressing? How is Dinesh progressing, right? So that's an important thing, because here, guys, it's not about just learning. Here you get to implement, and you will receive feedback based on the marking criteria, both on our platform and also during the live sessions. So like I said, guys, we are speaking about over 1,000 students. And when we speak about results with B1, that's intermediate, we have helped students to achieve 7.5. With A2, pre-intermediate, we have helped our Sri Lankan students to achieve bands 6.5 and 7, sometimes even a bit higher, but we have been very successful. So we are not speaking about preparing 1,000 students and achieving 4 and 5 and boast about it. We are speaking about consistent. And I know that even on Facebook, there are people, they try to get some idea from me and they try to copy us, but they can't show the results the way we show because, we are very consistent with the numbers and how students perform. And, our students, they take the exam regularly. So that's why we have this program. We are very sure about it. So my advice is, if you're interested, first step, take the grammar test. Be objective. Then our managers will tell you whether you can really pass the exam in 5 weeks or not. And then you make the decision, guys. Okay. So the last point, guys, is the platform. So it's a very interactive platform. You will have video lessons. You will have videos of mine for every question type on the platform as well. So it's a great revision. All the essay types are covered. All the topics are covered. All the question types for listening and reading. All the types for academic writing, like bar charts, pie charts. What if we have a pie chart and a line graph, right? So even with that essential program, the price you pay, it's way cheaper than having a tutor for 10 individual lessons. You can do the calculation, you will understand that. So also, guys, you get to practice with European teachers. So we have Olga, who's specialized in general writing. Then we have Tahmuraz, who is a PhD holder and an ex-examiner. Marina, who is actually an ex-examiner for IELTS speaking. Then, you will also see Margot, who is actually an ex-examiner who is specialized in IELTS speaking. And then Yana, who is here with us today, will be assisting you all on our platform. So I think it's a great opportunity. So guys, we have very good reviews as well. Do you have questions? If you guys have questions, I'll be more than happy to answer them. So remember, number one, we only have the computer-based test in Sri Lanka. So it's very important to adapt to the computer-based test, and it's not that difficult. So if you get the right guidance, it is the easiest exam. Even you see, there is a review from one of our students who achieved 8 overall not long ago. And as you can see, she found the platform really useful. So guys, if you're interested, you can register. We will share the link and you can leave your contact details. So remember, we are starting our groups. So we are starting our first group next Wednesday with speaking and writing. And then every Mondays, you will have listening and reading for IELTS. Wednesdays, you will have speaking and writing. We also can start weekend groups. So that you need to discuss with the manager. So lessons during the weekdays are conducted from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. From 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Then, guys, if you go with the proficiency course, we are going to have lessons 4 days a week. Most probably it will be Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. So yes, you have to sacrifice your weekdays. So instead of watching news and teledramas, you just need to spend 2 hours each day on IELTS. And that's going to be a great investment because here you just don't improve your skills, but also you improve your spoken English skills, because Tuesdays and Thursdays, we will focus on grammar, vocabulary, and building that confidence. And I will focus on speaking questions. And even if you're planning to take PTE, right? I would say, guys, PTE is becoming more confusing now. So if you have the time, go for IELTS. You will find enough and more resources. Everything is really clear. And even if you go to the Saraswati bookshop, rarely you can find a book for PTE. You can find many books for IELTS. So guys, do you have questions? Anything related to IELTS, about the exam, about tips? Please go ahead. And if I don't answer, I just want to say that Yana, you need to answer as well. And I'm pretty sure she'll be more than happy to answer, guys. So let me know. Yes. So guys, if you have questions, please let me know. Any question about IELTS or about the exam? So guys, we will check during the program up to 16 essays. But if you want to check more essays, you're most welcome. You just need to inform in advance. But we have a condition for that. That means you have to complete all the lessons on the platform. Essays should be written on the platform as well. And then, you need to kind of, complete all the tasks and then take the mock exam. And after the mock exam, We are always there to support you until your real exam. Another point is, guys, there is no point to postpone it. So if you're planning to, let's say, once you finish the program, try to take the exam within 2 to 3 weeks, maximum 1 month. Don't delay it because you might lose the hang of it, right? Because you're investing so much time, money as well. So I can guarantee that if you prepare with us, you should definitely sit for the exam, let's say after 2 weeks, or maybe in 3 weeks, you should go and take the real exam. So this is the real way forward, guys. It will definitely help you to achieve a very good score on your first attempt. That's for sure. Okay, guys. So in case I missed something, I want to apologize. I think our managers will get in touch with you. Make sure to get those PDFs. I'm pretty sure you will find them useful. So guys, I hope you found this session useful. I hope you guys had something to take away. Remember, it's not a difficult exam. And I've always taken great pride preparing professionals because, every time when students prepare for the exam, they have a goal, right? So it's not like people just want to improve their English, but they have a goal. They have a bigger aim to migrate to another country, to do their PhD, to enter a foreign university, to do their master's degree. So that's actually quite common, guys. So because of that, if you have a goal, it's not going to fail. You'll definitely achieve it if you're well organized. Yes. So guys, again, about the price, remember the essential is going for 11,000 with a discount. Expert is 21,000 rupees. You can pay in installments. For the expert course, you can pay in 2 installments. And then, guys, proficiency, you can also pay in installments. So discuss with the managers. I'm pretty sure they'll be more than happy to guide you all, guys. Okay. So, guys, thank you for the kind words. I really appreciate it. I appreciate if you found it useful. Like I said, guys, have a clear goal and also write it down. Write as if you already achieved a 7.5. Like I have achieved 7.5 or I achieved 7.5, but mention the date. So this way, you will definitely work towards it. And then, guys, think about the steps. And even when you prepare, if you're planning to take the exam in a month, in 2 months, plan it in advance. How many days of the week you're going to spend on preparation? How many days you'll spend on revision? Write it down. Writing is a great habit, guys. It triggers the subconscious mind, and that will definitely take you forward. So, guys, as a Sri Lankan, I just want to wish you all only the very best. Thanks for joining, guys. We'll be in touch, and all the very best. Take care. Thank you.